It's Brittany Jackson from Learning Technologies, and today we're going to talk about grading assignments with a rubric or grading assignments in general. So here I am in the Moodle playground, and I have editing already turned on, but I don't need to necessarily have it on to grade, but I tend to put it on just in case I need to be moving stuff or doing something else anyways. So I'm going to scroll down here and find an assignment. So I'm going to look at here at Monroe Test. And if I click on the assignment, I see here that one person has submitted and we've got one person that needs grading. And there are 3 participants in this course who are students. So I can click view all submissions, but I can also click grade. I typically go to the grade option. And here, each person's information will show up here for you. So we see that Matthew McKenna isn't graded. It's overdue by 359 days. Hopefully you don't have any students who are overdue by that much. And then we've got a grade out of 20. And a place for feedback. So here I'd give him a 0 because he didn't submit anything. And I would just put in a note. This is what I typically do, is to say no submission and leave it at that. And then once you've entered that in, if you hit save and show next, it'll tell you everything was saved and you hit OK. You go to the next person and Lisa also did not submit it. Let's look and see if the Hiram Terrier did submit. So we'll go back over to the Hiram Terrier. So here you can see an example of an actual submission. So here they've uploaded a document. Looks like it's got 3 pages where you can go to each page or you can advance using the arrows. And here you can come over here, see the document, so you could take it, you could download it if you needed to provide feedback. That's another possibility. And here, this grade was out of 20 and they received a 20. It's already locked or overridden, so that spot where the grade was available on Matthew McKenna's isn't available here because it's been overridden. Here I can also provide additional feedback. I can attach things. I can use hyperlinks. I can put in video or words if you are interested in recording something for folks. If you click here, you can record up to 2 minutes, and if you click here, you can record up to 2 minutes of video. So that is how you can go in and grade that way. There's a few different ways we can do this. So I'm going to go back out to that Monroe test. I'm going to leave because I'm not going to save any of those changes. If I click on view all submissions, here you can view all the submissions that are here for this particular assignment. You see the Hiram Terrier submitted it for grading. It was 358 days late there too. And you can click on the grade button here. So if I click on this for Lisa, we can see not graded, no attempt, and we're back to that grading page. If I go back out and I'll click on view all submissions again, here you can scroll down and see if you want to notify students about their grades or not. And you can unlock submissions for those that you wanted. You can also, if we select the Hiram Terrier, for example, we go with selected down here. When we click on download selected submissions, it will ask you to download selected submissions, and it's now going to give you a pop-up of where you want to save the submissions. And then it'll provide a zip archive of all of the submissions the students gave. And it will provide their last names with the document names so you can identify whose is whose. I don't typically do that, but if you're a writing professor or something along those lines, you might want to do that. And so that is available to you. And then you can re-upload those back in once you've got them ready. So it's a lot easier and a lot quicker for you. The thing I would say here on this page, if you go with the view all selection, be very careful. It's very easy to accidentally click on a letter. So if you said the first name F, now it's going to tell us there's nothing to display because we don't have anybody with the first name F. And if I come back out here, it even affects further. We can see that there's 3 participants and 1 is submitted. But if I click grade, because I have that filter on, that F filter, I don't have any users up here. I can't find anything because we're still using that filter. So if that happens, if you're not seeing anything but it's saying things are submitted, or you're only seeing a handful of people's stuff, go back in here, click on view all submissions, and then look at these 2 lines, the first name and the last name, and make sure they're both set to all because then you'll be able to see everything. Now you can also go into the gradebook, and if you wanted to override a grade, you can do so here. So for this one, I'm going to give Matthew 20 points. And so now you can see that it's marked in kind of a yellow-orange. That shows it's a manual grading in the gradebook itself. You didn't do it within the assignment. You can see that for the Hiram Terrier, we did that here with this as a test and with exam 1. Now currently, the Hiram Terrier can't see this, and we'll talk about this in another spot, but the Hiram Terrier can't see these grades because if you look up here, it's grayed out. This information is covered on how to fix that in another spot, but I'll show you really quickly because it's a quick show. So if we come up here to the grader reports, we're on the gradebook, we click setup. Here, if we scroll down, so we can see we've got a whole bunch of things grayed out. I'm going to come down here to this testing one that's grayed out here. And I'm going to click edit and show. Now if we scroll down to that testing one, you see it's in dark lettering. So now we know that students can see that. If we click on edit, now it's hide. So you would hide it if you clicked on that now. So you can also grade with Rubric. let me come back out here to the Moodle Playground and find an assignment with a rubric. So here we have a rubric called Rubric Testing. So if I click on this assignment, I'm going to go ahead and click over here on grade. And here I've already put in that rubric, which you can find in a previous video. But here you can see, okay, I've got spelling and grammar, many errors, some errors, error-free, and I've got a spot for notes in that particular area. Content. So we're going to say that even though Matthew didn't submit anything, we're going to give him 1 point for some errors. And for content, we'll let him say he got a little more content. Great job. Now, those little boxes are for the specific content area. If you want to do overall feedback, you can scroll down a little bit further and there is a spot here for overall feedback to provide to the student. Once you've done that, if you want to click save and show next or save, depending on what you want to do, hit save and show next, hit OK. And now if we go out to the grade book, click on grades. Now if we come over to that rubric testing one, let's find that here. So here we've got rubric testing, and we can see that we gave Matthew McKenna only a 50%, and therefore he's receiving an F in this particular assignment. So it will show up once you put it in. A grading guide is very similar to a rubric in how you set it up. So you'd still get those kind of options, except it would provide you boxes to put in the numbers instead of selecting a specific rubric. It's a little bit cleaner to look at. So let me see, I come back out here and show you a grading guide assignment. So here if we click on grading guide testing, and now I'm in this and I click on grade. If you've set up a grading guide, now it's going to be a little bit cleaner here. So I'd like to go with the grading guides unless there's something I need to use specifically for a rubric, because they're very similar and I can go through, add in appropriate feedback, but I can see what I'm trying to do here. And then I just have to manually enter in the numbers. Rubric, you can just tap on it and go. This one you have to manually enter, but it provides you a little more functionality. You'd have to make several fields in a rubric in order to get individualized points or half points. This one, I say this is out of 10, I can give a 5.5. Organization, we can give 3. And then overall feedback, hit save and show next. Hit OK. And then if I come back out here to the grade book, I click on grades again. And now I come down here and we scroll across and we find the grading guide assignment. So grading guide testing was the assignment, and Matthew McKenna got a 56.67%, still enough. He's not doing very well, but that's okay. But if I wanted to override this, I could say he got a 79, and here I can put in a note, made up work. And then if I do that and I come out here, now you can see that it's that yellow again. So that means I manually overrode that particular assignment. I come out here and look at that assignment again. I click on grade. We come over here, we look at Matthew McKenna again. Here we can see that got a 5.5 out of 10 and a 3 out of 5. But the overriding grade here is that C plus or 79%. So really that's all there is to grading assignments with a rubric or a grading guide or manually. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. That's what we're here for. We're here to help, and we're located in the library. As always, happy Moodling.